Welcome in. Happy Sunday Fun Day, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, El Campeon is drinking her signature Tito's Credit Orange. Mr. Nick, not El Campeon.
Great Spanish. Great Spanish.
I'm so good, but Mr. Nick, tell the people what you're drinking and our three things are for the show.
I'm having my J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet, as usual. Well, Chelsea Green's the first ever Women's United States champion. 3 champions retained their titles at main event, and Cody Rhodes has been sent to the hospital courtesy of Kevin Owens. It's Sunday, December 15th, 2024, in a special Saturday night's main event edition of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Nikki,
Baby.
We are back.
Baby!
Recapping, reviewing WWE's Saturday night's main event from last night on NBC and Peacock streaming live. And, well, first, you said it in the opening, so let's get the elephant out of the room, out of the way. We have a new champion, Nikki. After going 4-1 yesterday, is the champion. Very well done. 4-1 on her predictions. Predicting correctly, which we will get to shortly. Chelsea Green, where I differed, and correctly on, I guess. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the really, again, but he got what was coming to him, so.
Yeah, well, I feel like we knew Gunther was going to retain, but, more for the bands, and also put a belt on that band soon, but I digress. We'll get
Fair enough. But, Nikki, let's get to it. We open up. Jesse Ventura opened up. We said he was going to be on commentary, but overall, your overall thoughts on the first edition of Saturday night's main event.
I loved it. It was, again, 2 hours, quick breeze to get through. I'm here for it. I loved that they kept Jesse kind of sporadic, and then for the main event, then get him on commentary. I love that. And shout out to our boy Joe Tess dressing up like Mean Gene. I love that so much. As soon as he came on screen, I was like, oh my God, Joe Tessor, can I love you even more? And I love, the old school, the refs were in the bow ties, the entrance to the crowd in the old school little archway, and again, the music is it just gets you into it. And
it's very 90s, early 90s, 80s music.
It's 80s. But just a great nostalgic little run, and we're getting up there in years, so I do love the nostalgia of it, and I love the old school WWE logo that was the old school metal and the rope. It was just very it's what I wanted, because there's sometimes I think the Raw's 25th anniversary that they kind of did the Manhattan Center, and they kind of did wherever else they were. It was Barclays, and it was just too much and not what we wanted.
Yeah.
This was very much a chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, it was a very intimate setting, like you said. I liked it, again, we were talking about the old school railings. I thought there was going to be no pyro, so they ended up doing the pyro, which I think Jesse Ventura said there wasn't going to be any, but I like the the stage, the stage offset stage this is where Tessitore and Jesse Ventura were at the beginning and the middle middle of the show. Mm-hmm. The feel to it was great. The wrestlers walking through the entrance, walking through the crowd. It's such a nice. It adds such a nice element to it, and that's the thing we said about all of PLEs of the last year. It's that whether it's in Bash in Berlin or in France, that more intimate arena setting makes for a louder sound, makes for a better experience. So it was really great. I thought the crowd would be a little bit hotter at moments, especially for some of the people like Damian Priest and Liv Morgan, who are locals to the area. I thought they'd get a bigger draw. I don't know if maybe that was because some of the production too, with like the music, like they were playing the music the whole time over, the Jesse Ventura and Tessitore. So that was kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, overall, I guess, well, they kick it open. They open the show with Tessitore and Ventura, and they ultimately kick it back to surprise, not surprise. Not really a surprise, but Pat McAfee does return to the announce team for the first time in 3-4 months, since basically football season started.
Yeah.
So about 4 months.
Yeah, so I was surprised because I said to you, we talked about it on Friday, like who's going to be at the booth, and I was like, oh, who's going to wrangle Jesse Ventura, and then I saw, like, I believe it was on Facebook, it was, like, showed all four. It was, like, Pat, Cole, Ventura, Tessitore, and that was, like, the graphic. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then, like, when, like, Joe threw it to Cole, and then Pat's music hit, and Joe was like, and I was like, I thought this was already announced, but they kind of played it like it wasn't. So I don't know if I saw, like, some spoiling. But it was just like, all right, well, that makes sense because I feel like it's gearing them back up as like Pat's gonna, because again, of course, they're hyping Netflix. Like it's gonna be Pat and Cole,
right?
Putting Pat's feet back in the water because I feel like the 3-hour Raws were a little. I know people thought it was tough, like he drifted a little bit. So it's just like, also, yeah, buddy, you're gonna do this again, and it's on a bigger stage. Let's get you kind of
integrated back into the. Yeah, no, I thought he did it right. I mean, yeah, he says a lot of outlandish things that are kind of just amusing and entertaining, and I think he's a fan. That's the value of Pat. I thought he did fine for, again, him and Cole together is a great tandem. So like the way that they split this up until the main event with Jesse coming on, I thought worked out really well. So I was pretty happy with how Pat returned. What did you all think? Do you think he was rusty, or again, just back to old Pat and like a bike? It
was so like, I just like, because Pat is such like the fanboy.
It's Josh, welcome in, Josh.
Hey,
Pat and Jesse together is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I just feel like Pat was sort of like
I
honestly fanboying a little bit because he was just like, oh, I can't believe I like didn't think I'd ever be a commentator on this, and now I'm doing it with Jesse. It was just like, I feel like he was like, oh my god, about it, and then it was just super sweet. And again, like it makes me. Warms and breaks my heart that like Michael Cole's constantly like, this is my best friend. Pat McAfee, my best friend's back. It's like, my friend is back. And I was like, oh, no one loved Michael Cole for like 30 years.
I know. Well, JR hated him forever.
Oh, yeah. And I should, again, like, I say this every week, but it was like, we watch all the old school stuff and it's like, he gets shit on, and then he gets real shitty with the coal miner crap, and he's in his little bosses, like, on the fake general manager crap, and it's just like, this is like Michael Cole's so good, and then it's good to see him being good, and it's like my best friend's here. Like, again, if you're doing something with your best friend, like it's gonna be the best. Yeah, no, if you're having fun doing it. Exactly. So that brings me to the actual return that we were excited for we're excited for both, but Jesse Ventura. Yeah. So what did you think of his actual announcing return in the match? Like, I know he hyped it up. He did a lot of press. Mm-hmm. Your overall thoughts on Jesse Ventura? I have two thoughts. Because partly, again, nostalgia. I loved it. And I loved him like coming out hot and like shitting on Cody, and him being like, "I'm gonna be biased, but I'm really not biased. I'm the heel." Like Jesse's a heel, and he was like, like bigging up that KO was right, and like I didn't know that he was Dusty's son because like Cody has a 6-pack, and he said Dusty had the most packs or whatever it was. So he was like, he had like a full case or something. Yeah, already like saying stuff, but then again he kept saying Kevin Owen, and like there was singular. There's an S there, and he called. He's got a family. There's multiple of them. They're Owens. There are multiple Owenses. And then when he's like, "Oh, I love Liv Morgan," and then Rhea Ripley came out, and he's like, "Dominic knows how to pick them ladies," and I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah.
So again, those little, like, again, if reacclimating him to the product is such minor things, but the
Is he expected to be back for all of them?
apparently that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be back for all of them. But like him being on commentary, and then he's saying his jacket he made out of Damian, which was hysterical.
Yeah.
And I really liked him on commentary again because it's the will he, won't he, will eventually Cody turn heel? And he kept saying, like, I don't trust Cody. I don't trust Cody. I don't trust Cody. And he's like, who used the chair? Who used the chair? So it's just like when he actually was on commentary doing the match, I think he was great. Again, I can't fault him for not knowing to say Dominic Mysterio. So just like it was great, but those two little things like bothered me. But I was just like, all right, Nick, like overall, I loved it.
Yeah, and like the guy hasn't done it for what, 30 years?
40. He was like, I've been here 40 years. So I get it. But a wins.
Yeah. Take the small.
I guess. So it's like 95 great. That little 5% bothers me.
Fair enough. So I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. What did you all think of Jesse Ventura? We're going to see a lot more of him. So get ready. So I'm excited. Old school fan, bringing the old school feel back. So he ain't got time to read.
I'm sure. Again, it's little minor little things, but it's just like, again, like Dominic, or I'm sure he tried to read it, and it was just like, I'm just spitting this out. But
now his glasses are prescription glasses.
Right? So mine, I get it.
But Nikki,
yes,
that is just one event that happened. One thing that happened to just open the show. We have news to break. There is, as you correctly predicted at the top of the show or Friday's show.
Since they announced this tournament, I was like, my girl Chelsea Green is winning, and she won, and I screamed and I scared the cat. But
well, very well done, well predicted. If you missed it, let's take you back to some of the highlights or the finish of this match as we crown our first ever Women's United States champion.
I do anything for a blind eye. She'll do anything for the limelight. We'll do anything when the time's right. Baby, you're making it. That's the bullshit. You only make me strong. I need you to hurry up now. 'Cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now. 'Cause I can't get much longer. Man, I've been waiting all night, yeah. That's how long I've been on ya.
Nikki,
that's how long I've been on it.
Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Oh my god, so good. There's so many things. So many things about this. First of all, her coming out with her face on her gear, love it. A shout out to her hubby in Long Island. For those who don't know, she's married to Matt Cardona,
aka Zack Ryder.
FK, formerly known as Zack Ryder. Again with the long pant and the short pant, or the non-pant. Everything like she just great, like the start, and then again it was like me and Matt. It was in 2017 on December 14th. She won the TNA or Impact, whatever they were back then, Knockouts Women's Championship. Now she's doing a championship. It's the same year. She did the Rough Rider. Shout out to her hubby. Like everything about, like she just screams star to me, and I feel like she's been kind of like an underrated workhorse thing, because again, like her going through being afraid of heights, going through the ladder, which also was, I believe, my Big Nick energy moment, which leads me into my next Big Nick energy moment when she was on the rope and did that like sunset flip into the Unpretty Her for the win. I'm like, girl. I'm so excited for her. And again, her and Matt Cardona, her and Zack Ryder, were the first married couple to both be United States champions, and I love that for them so hard. Again, I think anything she does, like again, when she first came in, she broke her wrist, and then came back again and broke her wrist, and then she got released, and then came back, and like anything, like ever, she's been apparently praised backstage of like just throwing herself into things. Again, her going into the dumpster and that being a thing for a couple weeks. I'm like, she's such a company girl. does whatever she's asked for. I think this is like just all your hard work is being rewarded in this moment. And I think it was in the video when like, again, all this tweeted, he's like, congratulations, Chelsea Green, God help us all, which I loved. And then Piper lifting her up on the shoulder and her doing like the Miss Elizabeth wave. I'm just like, I love it. I love everything about this. And I can go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, but baby, please.
Yes. So, so in the show, first off, if you wanted this to happen, you appreciate Chelsea Green, hit the like. If you're new, hit the subscribe. We're here every Friday night at 6, but we're recap the PLEs, the WWE PLEs Sundays at 6. So again, it goes a long way with the show. But that being said, so for our PLE reviews, our pay-per-view reviews, we tend to do what we call our Big Nick energy moment. Nikki kind of touched upon it. This moment for her, the unprettier with, I guess as you said it, all the theatrics that came with it. Nikki is stamping this. You want to stamp it?
Stamp it, babe.
Her BNE moment.
Like like I don't know, like we've never seen that again. I know it's like Christian's kind of finisher, but to be on the rope to counter into the sort of, I guess I don't know what to call it, like a sunset kind of flip.
Yeah, the sunset flip.
And then when she hit, like I just feel like she hit it like
or a springboard, unprettier is what I think I called
springboard, whatever. Again, the flip into the like I just feel like she just hit it with such kind of like, oh, mom is winning, and that mama made this mama win, and I'm here for it.
By the way, we're going to do call-ins at the top of the hour. Or probably 6:45, probably the top of the hour, close to the top of the hour. But feel free to put in the chat what your Big Nick energy moment is, or when you call in, what your Big Nick energy moment is for
Tell me
last
all the
night's
things.
PLE Saturday night's main event. But again, I mean, overall, yes. And to me, very deserving. I thought it would be kind of one of those like not let the world burn moments, but like swerve, let Michin win the belt just to kind of piss off everyone. It would have been, I wouldn't have been surprised by any stretch, but it's the right decision. It's for someone who's going to elevate the mid card with Piper there as her bodyguard. I think it also sows seeds of like, if you don't want to keep, which I hate the idea, you don't want to keep them together long term. Now you have a challenger for the U.S. title, and that feud becomes a little bit more prestigious than just the belt, which I don't think you necessarily need it right away, but because it's a brand new belt that's so hyped, but it's another wrinkle that you could put into the storyline for the belt. So yeah, overall, it seemed like it was one of the logical decisions. I mean, for who was left, for me we talked about it on the show, her, Bayley, that fit. I mean, I didn't see Tiffany Stratton winning it because she's Miss Money in the Bank and she's destined for bigger things at this point.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay with it. What do you all think? Deserved moment? Do you think someone else should have been in this tournament and won this belt? I mean,
but yeah, great. No, like
verbally
debate pays off. Like she's done so much. I think she'll like again like. I know you said Bayley, but Bayley to me is like Chelsea Green is such like a mid card gal, and like put your newly minted mid card belt on your mid card gal, and I just feel like I know. And she also tweeted like, "Oh, woke up as the United States women's champion. Like, what I'm gonna do? Go to Disneyland." And I'm just like, oh, they're so like me and my wrestling couples, her and Matt Curtin, I love, but like I think. Deserved. I'm like again, like her being that chicken shit heel running around with Piper for this belt for a couple months. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Now, I guess the question is, and I'm not gonna put this up, but like, who's her first challenger? Is Michin the first challenger then? Because she's the runner-up.
Well, rumors is Charlotte's coming back to SmackDown. And is she going after Nia or is she going after this? I'm worried it's going to be a Matt Cardona situation, like Matt Cardona won the IC championship, and that was like his dream of all dreams because it was like he had that iconic photo with him and Razor Ramon holding the IC belt, and then they took the belt off him the next night on Raw. I'm worried like Chelsea wins this, and then she's going to get fucked over on SmackDown, and like, lol, Charlotte wins. But like anyway, they're so again they have all these women like again you can have that feud with Naomi, you can do the feud with Bayley if they're gonna turn Piper or whatever. Like again, like have more women's storylines that's not about a boy. I'm here for it.
Could you push Charlotte off to after Mania for someone maybe winning challenger for Tiffy?
Charlotte. I think I would think it's Charlotte Tiffy for sure. But we have 4 months. 4 months? 5 months.
Yeah.
To get there.
No.
Math is hard, kids. I don't do math.
Yeah, like basically 4.5.
But we'll see. I don't know. Again, like I'm excited. I think this is overdue for a while for the women to have a mid card. You know, we support women on this channel. I can talk about this all day.
I know you're really excited. Nikki's giddy. We hope you're all as giddy as she is, and we're happy for Chelsea.
I don't get hyped. I stay hyped.
Especially after all she's been. I mean, she's paid her dues.
Oh.
No, I just mean you paid her dues with like.
No, I did the. He's like he's always ready. I don't get hyped. I stay hyped.
Oh, you almost did the thing with the thing.
I did the wrong thing.
You did the wrong thing.
I know we're the hype bros.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. It was Mojo Rawley, not Zack Ryder.
Blew it.
I blew it. I'm gonna leave, guys.
You had that. You had that opportunity.
I blew it.
Could have been there. So, what are you gonna do? But we move along, and we'll get to it a little. We'll touch on it a little bit later. 3 titles were retained.
Yes.
At Saturday night's main event. One of which is a local to where the PLE was held, our New Jersey local. Liv Morgan retains. She battled, bless you.
Sorry.
She did not battle allergies. She battled Iyo Sky, and she battled, I would argue, like a warrior.
Your heart's still wild, shooting at the walls of heartache, bang, bang. I am the warrior, well I am the warrior, and heart to win, if you survive, the warrior.
So Liv Morgan wins clean over Iyo Sky.
Yeah.
Nikki, your thoughts?
I feel that Liv needed a clean win, to be honest. Because I feel like after the match, Rhea came out. And again, it's very much Rhea, Liv.
Rib Leah.
That's their. I'm shipping them together. It's Rib. But you know, the Mania match. I'm sure we get another 4 months of this. But I feel like she did need a clean win, and I think all the wins were sort of clean because of what happened. We'll get to the main event. But I feel like she needed a clean win, and I was very scared because the first time Iyo took the Oblivion, it didn't look great. That looked great. You felt like she actually again. It's a hard. I don't know. Because you think like Rhea sells it great, and you think it would be better with a shorter person than Rhea to sell it.
I was a little surprised actually.
The first one wasn't great. This one on the special was good.
Yeah. So the only thing is that does this make Iyo look weak? Because again, she was the women's champion within the last year.
Yeah, she won at Mania.
Yeah, so
no, she lost it at Mania.
All right, so but within this calendar year, she was last 365. So I just feel like where does she fall in the card? She's done. I mean, the build up this wasn't tremendous. I think a lot of it had to do with her spot in the War Games with the trash can that really tried to cement this as a bigger feud than what it is. I just feel like. Now you have Dakota Kai coming back to Damage Control, that the whole group is starting to lose a little steam to me, even with Dakota coming back and Dakota just lost again. So where does Damage Control and Iyo go from here?
I unfortunately I think Iyo is going to be your perennial number one contender. She's always going to be at the top. She can throw her into. They have great matches. She's so incredible in the ring. The stuff that she can do, I don't think a loss hurts her. I feel like sort of like a Sami Zayn thing. you could lose and then challenge for the belt 2 weeks later and be like, oh yeah, it's Iyo Sky, she's great. Like I don't think it hurts her, and I think Liv kind of needed a clean win.
I mean, it does. I agree with you on that front. I mean, you make a valid point that, like, again, to build up Liv for WrestleMania or for whatever Rhea at least.
Yeah.
I may be getting a little ahead of myself because my question is: this has been one of the biggest storylines we talk about a lot. Maybe it should be Dominique.
Oh, there's now their triplets. It's Nick, Tom, and Dom.
So, my question is: does Liv make it to WrestleMania as champion, or does Rhea take this belt off of her before WrestleMania?
No, I think she's holding till Mania. I think that's gonna be your big Mania moment for Rhea to get it back. Like it's been basically like a year journey. To kind of like the redemption back around.
And what if wait, did she beat? No, she beat Becky last year. What if Becky shows back?
I know everyone's clamoring for Becky to come back. I am okay with leaving Becky for post-Mania. That's like a SummerSlam thing to me. Again, like I feel like we're booking 2025. 2025, like it's gross. To say that out loud is gross.
We're staying alive in 2025. Let's just say that. I can't wait. Lord. We are doing, actually, speaking of 2025, we are doing a New Year's Eve happy hour, 6 p.m. New Year's Eve. So get ready for that. We might open up the bar and do an open bar concept where the call-ins, we don't have our segment for the call-ins, which, as I know people are waiting on the line eagerly to talk about this. So we will get to call-ins shortly, probably around like 45 mark, maybe the 7 o'clock hour, depending on how quickly we get through the last couple of topics. But we'll try and get to as many callers as possible today. But yes, we are doing a New Year's Eve show. So talking about what the year in wrestling, WWE, AEW, what our takeaways are, what are all of your takeaways. So that'll be kind of fun. But yeah, to me, getting back to the point at hand, I don't know if Liv makes it to WrestleMania. I have this weird, like, feeling like that it could be a Rumble loss for her because they're getting a little impatient with the storyline, like, and somehow the match at Mania could be Dom Rhea, like, or something.
Lisa, they're not going to do it. I honestly believe that whatever woman wins the Royal Rumble is going to be a SmackDown. It's going to go after Nia. Whether that's or goes after Tiffy. Like I think you're gonna have Charlotte come back at Royal Rumble and be your first 2-time women's champion.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't have Nia walking all the way into Mania with the belt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's the thing. I think Tiffy will take it off Nia and be Tiffy Charlotte at Mania because I think that's the rumors. I don't know if it was Meltzer or Sean Ross that the rumors was going to be Charlotte Tiff. Then you would think Tiffy has to be champion walking in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't, because then it'd be a short reign for Tiffy.
Yeah. No, you have to give Tiffany something. Let's see. Josh chiming in. Rumors flying that Liv has to drop the title. I did. So that was I didn't get a good shot of it, but yes, Josh, you were like the injury guy. You were like they might have to be. I don't know. As becoming a regular on the show, you get intros. I don't know. There might be some inspiration, but yes, that broken nose looked. It didn't look like. Well, it actually, to be honest, when we played it back, I paused it to do the videos, obviously, and it didn't look like it was broken. But then again, I don't know if like. I've never had a broken nose, but I've seen them, and it seems like they're like off, right? Like you can tell they're
John Cena when like the faces. I don't know because like Rhea like fractured her again. She didn't have a belt, but she fractured her orbital bone. It was back in a week. Again, but if you're long story booking this and that match is not going to happen until Mania, then you can have Liv not wrestle for a month.
I want Liv to come back with the mask on
and do the face mask.
Yes. Well, no, Rhea's already wrestled without the face mask, so that kind of seems like a mute point. If Rhea still had the mask on, this would have been very convenient. But unfortunately not.
But I don't think they're going to take the belt off her.
Steven's chiming in. Tiffy will cash in on Refrigerator Jacks at the Netflix debut.
Like, there's
Wait. Wrong one.
so many drops. Again,
All the drops.
it's really stacking that Netflix card. I think everyone and their mother is wrestling and winning and doing a thing on there. But I wouldn't even put it past on Steven at all. But I'm just worried if they're saying Tiffy Charlotte at Mania, then Tiffy's going to have a short reign. Could that be a good or bad thing? I don't know. Again, she's so young and so talented that she can be like a 4, 5, 6 time, 10-time women's champion.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But that's the thing that was like between Sasha and Charlotte, the back and forth every pay-per-view. And it was like Sasha couldn't retain or defend. It's like they boasted that numbers just so Charlotte can match Rick.
Yeah.
But so I have to see, like, am I missing, like, between Charlotte and Becky, who am I missing off my screen more is Becky. But I also really love, like, when Charlotte come back, I'd be like, oh yeah, I missed her.
No,
I feel like I was such a Charlotte fan, and then I got, like, too much, like, also, like, the Cena level, like, lol, Charlotte wins.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but she's been off for a year. Right? It was just about out a year, I believe.
Seems like it. So yeah, we shall see. A lot still left to be
desired
told in that story. Let's just say it's a lot untold. But speaking of not really untold.
The rest is still unwritten.
Well,
there's gonna be a drop for Nick's song.
Maybe we'll see. We see which strikes the creative flow. You just never know. But that being said, let's get to our main event takeaway of the main event. Where Cody Rhodes takes on Kevin Owens in what was a solid match. But Cody does not leave standing. And this rivalry is far from over. Daughtry.
Well, let's try to do it right this time around. Let's start over. Let's try to do it right this time around. It's not over. Yeah, part of me is dead and in the ground. This love is killing me, and you're the only one. It's not over.
Banger tonight, babe.
Is it? Can I use it? Can I say it?
Oh God, do it.
It's banger after banger after banger.
That's all we want. That's what we aim for here.
Yeah, this is when I think Jesse Ventura shined when KO got the visual pin. Of course, little Nate gets thrown out the ring. 1, 2, 3. I think we got to 8. And then he gets mad and goes. And then Eddie Orengo comes out. Cody kicks out. And then Eddie Orengo gets the crossbody from Cody. He's gone. So then KO gets the chair.
So many ref spots. This was like WrestleMania again.
I know. Like Little Nation. I know Eddie. Again, I feel like all the referees were like NXT kids that tried it. Was like, maybe to be a referee. Like Eyebrows and Eddie Orengo. So then KO gets the chair. It goes to hit Cody. Doesn't happen. And then he does the crossroads on the chair. And then that's what Jesse's yelling about. He was like, oh yeah. Like he's the one that used the chair.
Yeah. Jesse Ventura, always the heel. So, again, this has been kind of the staple of the Cody Rhodes title reign. It's been storytelling, like old school storytelling with everything. Friendships, rivalries that derived off of friendships. And what happened here, like you said, like the double, which I guess WrestleMania, we've kind of seen maybe, well, was it 2 refs at WrestleMania? It may have only been 1 ref. But the double ref bump where KO has the belt won twice.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole like justification of like, I'm still to some extent, I'm justified in my actions. I haven't done anything
Yeah,
terrible. Like I just like even
you
the,
introduced it, IU. Like it was. I did my move. The chair happened to be there.
exactly. Yeah, like, but to Kevin Owens, it's like, yeah, it's. I've had 2 opportunities that I've been screwed over, and his frustrations are mounting, and I've tried to do everything the right way, and like even the Dodgers, I tried to do it right this time around, and he got screwed. So ultimately, this
I'm saying Josh put out there like your math was better, and that's like a great segue to about what you're saying. Thanks, Josh.
Yes. So this ultimately leads to after the match, we do see Kevin Owens come back, and he hits Cody Rhodes with a beautiful package. Get to that. Package pile driver.
Speech, kid. Speech.
And he does it phenomenal. So that for me, even though it wasn't in the match, because I loved a couple months back, I used Cody Rhodes' Vertebreaker, a very rarely used move, as my moment. So for me, my Big Nick Energy moment of this PLE was what essentially closed it, as now Cody Rhodes seemingly is on the shelf from a package pile driver. So I'm stamping it, my Big Nick Energy moment, KO, pile driving, Cody. It's a little delayed horn, but it's only a short little clip, so we have to keep it. But yeah, ultimately, a couple things. Like obviously, where the big question is well, first I'm going to ask this. So we're going to kind of backtrack because as my mouse just fades out on me.
So many things.
So he brought it out. We touched upon it. The Winged Eagle.
Girl, that belt is flipping beautiful.
So what do you all think? Have you missed this? Is this, I mean, we have a lot of different generations in our fan base here, our listener base, that we appreciate you all. And if you're new here, we appreciate you. Hit the old like and subscribe. But this has been something that Nikki and I grew up watching.
This is my belt. This is my championship belt. For sure. And I made the laugh with you. Like the Winged Eagle. I'm like, well, eagles have wings. Why are we reiterating it's winged? But again, this is my belt. This is the belt I grew up with. And him coming out and he had the jacket closed, and when they did the woes and he like, did this creepy flashing thing, but it's like, God damn it, that belt's beautiful.
It's just the nostalgia. Now, I think they said it's only brought back for the one night.
Mm-hmm. Good.
But the convenience here is that at the end of the night, KO basically steals his belt.
He left with the belt. He tweeted mine. So is this like a thing like, oh, you have your belt, but I ran away with this belt
to keep it going for a little bit, like
again, this is your until we figure out what the fuck Rock is doing in April.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you need to just further things and keep it going, it definitely keeps this storyline into Mania. You need a transitional challenger, and he's, as much as I hate to say this because he's a potentially a Hall of Fame talent, he's the perfect transition. Like AJ Styles fits into that mold now. There's a few guys that you just throw them right in. Orton always goes into that. Well, Orton's a little different level, but like it's just you just throw him in. It gives instant credibility,
and that's why I feel like, or the kind of what I was saying about Iyo. But you can just throw it in its credibility. But also, like him saying, again, we talked about this, I believe Bash at Berlin, or no, it was post-Berlin. Whatever PLE it was, when it was like, Kevin Owens hasn't had a singles belt since 2017, makes my skin crawl. I'm like, he's so flipping good. So amazing. Like, how has he not had a singles belt since 2017? Blows my mind. But also, I don't know if you're going to get into it after, so... He package pile driver, puts Cody on the stretcher, then holds the Winged Eagle, standing on Cody on the stretcher. The stretcher, well, not the stretcher, but the backboard that they put him on. So he's standing on him, holding up the belt, and then like Jamie Noble and everyone is being upset. And then he goes up the ramp, he bows and he's posing, and then Triple H comes out, and they get into a chubby match.
Yeah, so we don't know. I guess, like, the question is literally what's next in this feud for Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. We've
I know
seen.
everyone's like, oh, KO Triple H. I'm like, that can't happen. He has a pacemaker. We saw Ric Flair wrestle with a pacemaker. No one wants to see that. I hope, like, Triple H would get, like, a proxy and then use it immediately. Well, his proxy would be Randy Orton. Like, Randy Orton will come back, and that would be, like, the thing for Cody. I don't know.
Josh loves the Winged Eagle belt.
I know, it's such a beautiful belt. But is this the way to kind of break Cody off for a little bit? Like, does Cody... I hope maybe Cody needs a little break, him, or, like, leading into Christmas, like, take the next 2 weeks off, hang out with Brandy and Libby, like, take it off.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was again, like, I don't love that it wasn't on the show, that, like, we were watching it and then it was like, oh, breaking news, like, this happened, and it's like, kind of just I don't want to have to, and I get they're doing it for social media stuff and posting, and I was like, I don't want to have to log onto an app to do a thing to see your thing when I'm already just trying to watch the paper or special. But again, that's what they've been doing, this kind of guerrilla marketing thing, and that's how it started after Bad Blood when KO attacked Cody in the parking lot. So it kind of fits the narrative. I don't want to have to go through 4 apps to find out what's happening. But I'm old.
You just never know where it's going to happen.
I know. And that's also
next, Cody's going to show up on the X for the Speed title.
Yeah, well, oh, God. But that was the thing. Is like, you never know what's going to happen in the WWE. And then, like, you have to watch your socials because, like, KO hits a beautiful package pile driver. But, again, I think it's a fun little special. Again, the 2 hours breezed by. Nothing really, again, like, I know this aftermath thing and, like, Chelsea winning, but, like, nothing, like, earth-shattering. It was just, like, a good little 2-hour shindig.
Exactly. So, again, that was kind of the big 3 that we took away. Just to kind of touch on it, there was 5 matches. So, ultimately, we said 3 champions did retain their titles at Saturday night's main event. We touched upon the Iyo Liv match. Any last thoughts before we open up the phone lines about essentially
a fun Saturday night main event?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, just to kind of touch upon, like, the Gunther stuff, I love the powerbomb ending. I know it took him a little bit, like a second try on Damian Priest stuff.
Yeah.
Literally was worried that Nikki was going to go undefeated and be Mrs. Perfect here. And, like, with Finn Balor at one point in time dominating that match. But, again, the person who I think needed it, got it.
Yeah, it's Finn Balor going how long without a singles title. It's just like, Again, we felt like I knew Gunther was winning, but, like, goddamn. And then they also felt like, he wasn't going to win when they were like, in all the years of Saturday Night's main event, only the title changed 2 times. And it was like, Wendy Richter and Shawn Michaels took the belt off someone in the 90s. British Bulldog. It's British Bulldog IC belt in the 90s. I was like, well, I guess this is not happening.
Yeah. I think overall, again, a solid PLE.
A fun family affair.
Yes. And again, what we both were above 500. I will take victories for now, but I will claim the title at Royal Rumble. Well, I guess Nikki will.
I predicted Bayley winning the Royal Rumble last year, and nobody had her.
Nikki will leave 2024 the champion.
I want to thank you all,
but I'll be back. As our rules for the PLEs are just like WWE's, that you have to be a decisive victor. So the champion's advantage does happen. So Nikki is the champion from now on, so I have to beat her by 1. There's no ties. Like, if a tie goes to the champion. That's how we do our thing here. So I might have to make up some other picks to make up some ground.
We'll see
how it works. But yeah, what do you all think? Let us know in the comments below. Josh, Trips had a flashback to the late 90s, thought it was game time. When do you go? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if.
It's hard because, like, Triple H, I'm such a Triple H Liddick. I love him. He's such part of my early wrestling years. But I don't want to see him wrestle. Again, it just makes me think of like the Kane.
It's not gonna be Ric Flair though. Like,
well, that's the thing. I don't want Ric Flair, but I also, when it was, again, I watched it at your condo when we first started dating. It was Trips and Shawn Michaels versus the Brothers of Destruction, and it was a terrible match. It was so bad. And then Triple H tore his pec off his bone. Kane's face fell off. Like, and sometimes babies just need to go to bed. Like, I don't need to.
Would you say that you disliked that match so much that you hated it?
Sure. What's happening?
Hated it.
We're bringing the 90s references back on this show.
I can't even handle it.
And for our younger audience,
Go back.
it's going to be so great.
YouTube, baby.
What we're bringing to this show and educating. We are educating more than anything. One more time.
Please.
Hated it.
Got her. That's why we do it.
Oh, that makes my heart so happy. Oh, God.
Listen, if it's not the songs, it's got to be the drops.
It's banger after banger after banger.
All right.
Oh, God. Go to calls. I'm dying. Oh,
Can you do one pedigree, though, Steve? Right? Just one. Just one. You just got to drop down.
No. I don't know. He's going to do it. I'm going to lose my mind. But I don't know. No. Steven, do you want to say it? Call me and tell me.
Yeah. Well, the phone lines. Nikki, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Well, we only got like 2 more or 3 more of these with this drop, and then we're gonna have new intros for 2025.
I'm
So.
changing everything.
I know. We're getting a little new coat of paint on the show here. So, Nikki, the phone lines are. Oh, before we do that, just to reiterate. So, in the description, go down to the bottom. There's a call-in link. It takes you to StreamYard. What you have to do is you mute your YouTube. Make sure you mute your YouTube, because just like radio, you don't want feedback. And then you come into StreamYard. You type your name in, whatever you want to be called. Some people,
talk.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk wrestling, whatever you want to talk about.
Talk.
Saturday night's main event. Did it bring you some nostalgia? You want to talk about the old days of Saturday night's main event? We could talk about that. We could talk about anything wrestling related. But let's kick open the phone lines, Nikki. All right. So, Nikki, on this show, make new friends every day.
Making new friends.
Got a new caller on the line.
New friends.
Bring him in. Devontae, welcome to the show.
Is the game over?
Oh, man. Unbelievable. Hold on a second. Now I got to do it. Damn it, he did it. He did it to me.
We're doing it too. Brother.
Oh. I can't believe he did that to me. Devontae.
Football.
Oh, he threw a football reference in the wrestling show.
I'm not going to win, Steven. I'm upset. You're not going to win, and I'm also upset. We got to Steve, I'm mad at you on so many levels. I can't even.
Oh, fantasy.
Fantasy yesterday. All of it. Steven.
He threw us off. See, this is why I say you could put whatever name in there. This is what happens in live shows. You just get thrown off by some people. Unbelievable.
Brother.
And then you get this is like a production issue, like WWE. It's like when who did recently came out and had a different background. It's unacceptable on the show.
Steven, I am disappointed in you.
Yeah, I'd argue that she hated it.
Hated it.
That makes me so.
Just wait. Listen, 90s are coming back now. Actually considered I guess classic, because it's 25 years, so technically the 90s, anything in 90s classic, so we're bringing the classics
we're
back.
old as fuck.
But let's bring him in the right way.
Steven, I'm so mad at you.
Unbelievable. Now I have to find it.
We're not prepared. This is what you do with Steven.
And he throws us through a whole.
Steven.
Oh, where did it go? I don't have it. Oh, wait, no, there it is.
He's a
Found it.
Man,
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat
So now he's back to Steve.
Ugh.
Unbelievable. Changing gimmicks like I don't even know who changes gimmicks. Mick Foley's got like 3 gimmicks, but this guy's got.
I find it amusing that I've maybe used my actual name in that field, I guess 3 or 4 times all year, and now you notice.
No, it's. I don't know why I was so thrown off by it. I just didn't. The avatar or picture you use, I don't know. I just got so taken aback by it.
Yeah, I like this avatar. I might keep this one.
What is it? No, it's a
Is
clown.
it art?
No, that's not art. That is, if you used to watch America's Got Talent, Puddle's Pity Party.
Ew.
Ah. Yeah.
Which is like also like the nice twin of art. But he can sing.
In a way, yeah, he sings very well. He's got a good act. He's opening for Weird Al over the summer.
Oh.
It's interesting.
And he was Steve, I'm mad at you for being the thing. I'm mad at for you. I didn't see you yesterday, but let's talk wrestling.
Yes. By the way, you're winning. So.
Ooh.
Oh, because Nick was like, "You're not gonna win." Like, but make sure you set your lineup so we can figure out who was in third. I was like, "You're captain or what? Counting my eggs before they hatch." Like Nick was ready to write me the fuck off.
Listen.
So thank you, Steve.
Listen, it's not over till it's over, and I will say one thing.
I know you. You know you. And I know you know that I know you.
Yeah.
Somebody
Her whole
been
bench
busy
is
with 2 drops.
Oh my bench is dog shit. But
Everything.
thank you, Steven.
Anyway, digress.
Wrestling.
Back
Yes.
to wrestling. What are you thinking? What are you drinking on this Sunday evening?
So the show, which for me turned out to be Sunday morning's main event. I enjoyed it. I didn't think there was that much. I thought it was going to be way more retro than what it ended up being.
Really?
You know, it was great to see the old timers ringside, Greg Valentine, Coco Beware, etc.
Tito Santana, New Jersey native. There we go.
Yes. Tito Santana. As far as the matches go, geez, what a shot Liv took with that knee. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The reports I've been seeing is that somehow it's not a broken nose. It just ended up being a bloody nose during the match. And then I don't know why it took me this long to recall it, but I mean, remember how Becky's nose looked when Nia tagged her a few years back, and it didn't look like that. So
that's exactly what I was saying. Like when again, like putting together the videos and stuff for the show, like I looked at it, I was like, she's bleeding, but like it's not. Like you would. I feel like, again, I'm not a doctor. I only play one on YouTube, but.
Like with Becky and Cena, like their nose was this way and the bridge was broken and it was like crazy. Like her, it just looked like, oh, I got hit. Again, I'm sure it sucked, but like, I don't think it's broken.
No, but I mean, just to be sure, I'm sure they'll limit her in-ring action because I'm sure they want to get her to Mania
Yeah.
and do something. Where I think here as far as continuing and ending the storyline, how's this for a twist if they really want to get creative? Liv's belt gets defended at Mania. Rhea's the challenger, but in a twist, Liv doesn't wrestle. Liv sends Dom to go wrestle instead.
For the defending her women's title?
Right.
I'm so here for that. I so want to see that match, but
how do you
they said that in so many big Dom and Rhea both said we still want to do that match, but they're not gonna let us do that match. I would fucking love to see it.
But I just don't get how you get how you freebird rule the women's world title. Not to get into the whole again, however you live life in a different that the political or whatever side of things, but I just feel like they've never done it with a world title. Even when New Day, Kofi Kingston, right, won the belt. It wasn't the New Day's belt. It was Kofi Kingston was the world champion. So I don't know how you find a way to have Dom it. I would to Nick's point, we would love to see Dom wrestle Rhea. That's the money match. I think that's more the money match than Liv.
That's the main match. Yes.
Yeah, it's just I just don't know if it's around the maybe that's why it's I asked that question earlier. It's does Liv make it as champion till WrestleMania? Maybe she makes it beyond that because Dom again, if they don't do it, it sucks. But Dom and Rhea at WrestleMania is a big time money match. You could put anywhere in the card. Anywhere in the card. You can put it right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the card if you want to. And you don't have to open if you bookend it, let's just say Punk Rollins is one, whoever Roman faces is another. One of the women's matches is another. You could still throw that in the middle of WrestleMania and get a huge draw. And that's what always is it's the lull. If you're doing 2 cards of five matches, maybe 6 max, that's a great way to keep the middle card, everyone interested for the whole 3-4 hour show.
Right. But if you put Dom in as Liv's avatar, if you will, with Liv at ringside, then you can, Rhea wins the belt, and then you can, continue the program for, I guess, a couple more months saying, well, you didn't beat me.
Oh,
You can have
Yeah.
I've seen I don't know, I've seen it happen before where it was okay, can you go defend this belt for me? It's rare. I just can't recall where I've seen it before, but I have seen it, and of course it caused a feud between the former champion and the substitute after that.
But did the well, I guess you don't remember what, so it might be harder to remember. What? Because then what? Again, you defend this belt for me. I guess you'd have to lose by DQ or count out, and then it's all right. Well, you keep the challenger alive or in reputable or whatever you want to call it in this situation. It's interesting.
I mean, you could make it a triple threat match, but I don't know that that's the play here.
I can't. As much as I love them and I love it, I can't go to SummerSlam.
Or is it a handicap match?
I can't. If we're doing Rhea Liv at SummerSlam, I'm going to lose my mind.
Wait, hear me out on this. Sorry, not to cut everyone, but what if it somehow becomes a handicap match where Dom can get, can help, not do necessarily too much, maybe move here. They don't have to wrestle one-on-one, so it avoids that whole issue that they don't want to really get into. And again, because when you think about it, Rhea's beat up Liv every step of the way, and now she has Raquel as her bodyguard, and she's still beating up. She just beat up Raquel. She just put Raquel through a table. So now, what's next? Dom should be next. Maybe it's a handicap match at WrestleMania that includes them both.
And I think you can get this to SummerSlam because that would somehow maybe you have each lady take a detour for a little while to feud with somebody else for a few weeks. But then, remember where SummerSlam's going to be, right in Liv's backyard.
Yeah, but do you want?
I forget it's 2 nights in our backyard that I said I'm absolutely not going to.
But also, do you want her? I mean, she's a heel, so I guess. But do you want her losing in her hometown when she gets that big ovation?
No, I don't. I don't know. I'm at as much as I love both of them, I think I'm at the crest of I can't do any more. Really. If we're going to hold to SummerSlam, that's a lot. So if I was a woman on Raw, I'd want to go to SmackDown real quick and fight Chelsea.
I feel like Raw has more opportunity. Like, eventually Liv's going to drop it, and there's no success.
Well, not if you're carrying it to SummerSlam.
Well, right now on Raw, there's Rhea and there's Liv, and that's really it.
Yeah,
now, there's really nobody else credible right now.
Right, and I don't think. I'm sorry, Stephen. Go ahead.
No. I mean, it depends. Like, what are they going to do? Like, who are they going to call up? Or if they're going to call them up before Mania, is Jordan going to go straight to the main roster and bypass NXT because she's basically already been in NXT more or less?
Yeah.
Yeah. But right now, it's just the two of them.
Yeah. So then does Jordan come when the Royal Rumble? Somehow that's
Win the
three-way.
Well,
I don't know.
that'd be a hell of a push, though, to bring
Yeah,
her
like
in.
having Jordan Grace. I don't know.
Well, she's still got to do the job for Tessa
Oh,
Blanchard.
I don't even want to.
We'll get into that another day.
I know there was something that I was going to say and I lost it. Wait, no, because you were talking about like it's just Rhea, Liv, and that's it. And even when talking about, I feel like the United States bracket looks better than your IC. It's gonna be Natty Lyra, and I hate it. Everything about it.
That's right. That's right. I mean, if you want to build up somebody, even further in time for Mania, that's there now. You have 4 months to do it. It looked like they were kind of teasing something between Rhea and Iyo Sky. I mean, so that's possible.
Yeah. Well, from what I have heard is that Damage Control is supposed to be a face group. Like, I could see Damage Control breaking up. I'd rather see like Bailey and maybe Dakota together might make some sense on like a tag team front, and trying to build up that division a little bit more. I see more with them breaking up than moving forward that group. And like Iyo probably, she's phenomenal. She probably ends up another one. Like, you could just break up into 2 solid tag teams and maybe hopefully build up the tag team division once Asuka, comes back. Or Kyrie's still healthy, right?
Yeah. She lost in the tournament.
Yeah, so like you could either put her right with Kyrie or you wait till Asuka comes back or one or the other, and then now you have another tag team in the women's division. You have Unholy Union, who I think really impressed me and did a good job for what they were given.
Alba Fire should be so much bigger than she is. Again, I think you can say that about Blair Davenport.
I can't.
I'm more of an Alba Fire fan. I hate that fucking name so hard, like Kylan King. But I feel like she should be bigger than she is.
Yeah, I really like what they can do. Like, but again, like kind of going back to the point. So you have Unholy Union, which is a pure women's tag team. You have
Pure. Are you talking Pure Fusion?
No, Unholy Union.
Okay.
Because they were the women's tag champions. Yeah. Like, I'm talking about them because they actually I consider them a legit tag team. Oh my gosh. So now if you put Damage Control and split them up as tag teams, right? You have that unit there. You still have what's her name? Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pure tag team that you put together. Build up this women's tag team division. And obviously Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Like, they're the next big challenge. So there's 4 women's tag teams right there that I could just book for you that can make this more than what it's been. And same thing, like my only concern about this now, does that get diluted because now you have 2 mid-card women's titles? And I've said this before, WWE is always going to be, has been, will always be a single star driven company. So will that dilute it? It has in the men's division for the last decade, seems like. Will it dilute the tag team division because now they have another belt in the mid card? I could totally see that happening. That's my only concern with that. Sorry, I rambled on, but you just kind of brought that home.
Quite all right.
Steve, before we what's your last shot here?
Congratulations to Chelsea Green on being the first. When the title was introduced, I didn't think they would give it to her much as she deserved it, because I thought the first champion would be a face like Naomi. And as soon as they got to the final 4, and also the news involving Chelsea and GCW that broke within the last few days, I was like, I knew they were going to give it to her. It was nice that they did it in her husband's backyard, and already brought up the outfit, and that she incorporated the Rough Rider. As part of the I thought those all were nice little I thought those were all nice little Easter eggs. And but the basics are, out of that final 4, Tiffany is on another big storyline, and she's in the world title picture. Bailey probably too high up the ladder for that. So really, when it came down to between Chelsea and Michin, Chelsea's over, Michin's not. Simple as that. Yep. And Michin will probably get a few rematches along the way for a few weeks, and then we'll get a new challenger. It will not be Charlotte. They will not have Charlotte in that program.
Yeah, hey, listen, your lips, God's ears on that. I don't want her in the mid card. There's no need for her to be in the mid card.
No.
At this point in time, to try and elevate anything until this title is established. Give it at least 3 months, hopefully 6 months or more, and then say, hey, like, I'm not a main event. That whole, what I hate to compare, like what the men do, like, I'm not a main event guy anymore, like, so to speak. Like, I've lost the main event title. I'll move down to the mid card where I think, the Intercontinental title is really prestigious. I'll do that, and I'll bring prestige to the Intercontinental title.
I say a thing though.
Go ahead.
I think because they put the United States belt on Nakamura, so he's having all those Japan shows. Would it be in it? Because they're telling that, again, I said it, Cardona and Chelsea Green are the first United States champions that are married. But would you put the belt on Andrade and then put the belt on Charlotte so they can tout it on WWE TV? Like, we have a legit WWE couple that's married. They're both U.S. champions.
Ooh. That'd be interesting.
Because it's like, Matt Cardona and Chelsea. Matt Cardona's in it, but this is like kayfabe. It will be Andrade Charlotte.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just like, I'm just putting that out. Like, in curling, when it's a guy that's like, he just like pushes the thing, and he's just like, I'm just throwing that out there.
No, you're just throwing gasoline on a fire, and you're just like,
Chelsea.
You're throwing gasoline on a bunch of wood in a pile, and then lighting the match, throwing the match on, then grabbing a flamethrower and shooting the flamethrower at said fire pit or fire.
Let me stand next to you.
You just want to see the world burn.
And in addition, I think this is a thank you to Chelsea for making her do all that goofy stuff that she's done over the last year and a half. There seems to be a trend like that. Priest got a thank you for working with Bad Bunny and doing a zombie match. Daniel Bryan had comic stuff with Kane and the psychiatrist appointments and so on and so on. And I think this was Chelsea's thank you, her end of year bonus, if you will,
100% agreed.
and certainly earned.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well put, Steve. Pleasure. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. You,
Yep.
sir, are cut off. Steve, even though he just went with his real name this time, the second time around, he just did it. We wouldn't have had so much confusion. This whole thing, but what do you do? He always provides a great call.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
Real ring-a-dong dandy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nikki. So Steve threw it through a loop, so we have to bring it back. On his show, he's known as El Jefe, but we need a little. We have already some great sex appeal to my stage right, left. I don't even know what a stage is anymore, but I don't know how it's considered. But we're bringing it back. On his show, he's known as El Jefe, which I don't know. I took Spanish a bunch of time in high school, and I'm not good at it. I got like C's and D's, so I could be wrong. I think it means the boss, but I don't know. But on this show, he brings the sex appeal. So he's known on this show as Magic Mikey.
Boys, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, be iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
Yay!
Hello!
Oh, they cover up the goods. Oh, give the people what they want. Unbelievable. This guy comes. You've got Dom Mysterio type heat on the show now.
Well, dang. All right. Well, I mean, I would, but I will say it is a freezing 58 degrees outside. I do live in the middle of the desert in winter.
Wait,
so...
Hold on. You're going to get another boot. No. That didn't work. But I'm very disappointed because 58 degrees is like probably 40 degrees more warmer than what we got
33.
here. Yeah.
I'll trade you.
Yeah, he's really, yeah.
This is the best I can do. I can roll the sleeves up.
58 degrees. It's so cold here, 58 degrees.
Love it.
Anyway, Mikey, what are you thinking? What are you drinking?
So I am currently without a drink as of right now because I'm going to save all that for later tonight. But what I'm thinking is, I have some thoughts on Saturday, the first iteration of this modern part of Saturday night's main event. Okay, so I want to start off with the positives because I enjoyed myself watching it through and through. I think the only downside I had, and again, I figured this was going to be the case, so I'm wondering what some behind the scenes reasoning and why it was. I just felt like it went way too quickly. Like matches were thrown into fifth gear for a good chunk of it. Because, the first match between Drew and Sami, I was like, okay, I could dig this pace. And then Liv and Iyo went by. I was like, okay, I think we're setting the precedent here. Best way for me possible being the triple threat. Oh no. The wrestling guys don't like me today. Anyways.
You have your guns.
I know. It threw everything off.
I just felt like they crammed a lot in 2 hours is basically what I'm saying.
Agreed. No, it's very
no.
It's on NBC and it's very much like we gotta go. For sure.
It's very weird because like we were talking about this, like they produced it and promoted it like it's a PLE, right? Like it's on Peacock, so it should be like a PLE. So that literally we're doing the show because we thought it produced like a PLE, but it was like a 2-hour PLE. It was like really like there's no press conference. Like I thought maybe like Chelsea Green would do a press conference winning the belt. None of that. Like it was treated like a PLE up until like
went live.
Yeah,
like,
up until it went live.
Watching something on 1.5 speed, like you're just like fast forwarding through all the bits.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. and I don't want to use this term because it sounds like it has a negative connotation to it, but it felt like a very solid 2-hour house show, if we will. Now, I don't hate the concept. I think this is a good concept, especially if you want to use this as like an interconnectory point between like your major pay-per-views. And we got word that we're getting another one at the end of January, I believe 2 weeks before Royal Rumble. So I'm interested to see what goes down with that, which is great because normally when we start getting the build for Rumble, unless it's like the main one or two championships always get defended, but then of course the big attractions is the men's and the women's Rumble. You can only build so much story with the Rumble outside of the championships. So I think it's a smart idea having the next Saturday night's main event about 2 weeks before Rumble. I just hope that they figure out a way to make it maybe 2.5 hours instead of 2, so we don't have to cram as much and give that 30 minutes a little bit of extra breathing room. Also, I was not okay with watching commercials. I'm like, what is this? This is not a weekly television show. You lied to me, WWE. And then, of course, the main event on Peacock got picture in picture. I'm like, oh, what is this? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. I know, like, I worry that like, with, I know it's different companies, but like, with Raw going to Netflix, I'm like, are we going to start seeing more picture in picture on like Netflix and like all these apps? Because I really don't want that.
I hope not.
Like, then what do you, almost like, what are you paying for your subscription for? Like, ad free? This is not ad free. You're still giving me ads.
Yeah. Honestly, going off of what you for Saturday night's main event, then make it 4 matches. Like, as much as I did like the Sami Drew match, did that need to be on the main? Or would it be nice to, honestly, having your like Night of Champions or Battle of the Belts thing, it's just about the belts. If you're trying to bring people in, then like, oh, these are our champions, and these are the people that rose up to be the challengers. Then maybe give me one last match. And then maybe on the actual paper PLE, then give me that 6th match.
It's
well, I mean, this was the first adventure for this modern era of WWE doing this, and I enjoyed it. I really, really did. But of course, I'm hoping that for the January one, they do some tweaks and things like that. But you're absolutely right. As much as I love the Sami and the Drew match, you could have put that on Raw tomorrow night, and that would have been fine. Like, have that be a main event. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yep. And
then I feel like just having those 4 matches in the 2-hour span, each match can go about 15, 20, 5 minutes specifically, you know, but my heart's a little disappointed for Miss Iyo Sky because now that her number 1 contendership is done, do we throw her back in the tag team championship scene? Which I'm like, no. Why? I mean, for right now, I guess I really want to see Iyo make it back to Mania, whether it's being the Rumble winner or being the Elimination Chamber winner this year, because I feel that I'm biased, but she's one of my favorite wrestlers right now on the Raw women's roster outside of Rhea. So I want to see Iyo find a way to make it to Mania. I just don't want it to be for the tag team championships again.
I said to Nick that like Iyo to me is kind of like Sami, that you can just kind of plug and play her, and she's gonna be always that like number 1 contender. Like she can lose 3, 4, 5 matches and throw her in the match and like, oh yeah, fucking Iyo. Like,
right.
Of course she's the number 1 contender. She's gonna fight for the belt. So I get it, but I feel like she doesn't necessarily lose or is less than because she didn't win.
Right. And so what I'm hoping to see is, well, since we're talking about Iyo in the same vein, because Kairi is in this women's intercontinental tournament, I want to see Kairi go far, because I think Kairi's also another one. I feel like now that she's back in WWE after leaving and then now coming back and making the choice to come back to WWE, I want to see Kairi make it far into the IC tournament.
What's interesting is actually, as you say that, because I'm like learning as I'm going too, like maybe that's like, instead of the tag team route that I proposed earlier, maybe that's the way you go down. It's like, all right, you still have the Intercontinental title, so maybe Damage Control feuds over that. Because you have Damage Control, you also technically, I guess, because they were feuding this is tough to say. Feuding with Pure Fusion Collective. Say that 3 times fast.
Right.
And like now maybe you integrate like Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and oh my
Sonya
gosh,
Deville.
I called her Sonya Baszler. It was maybe integrate all like 1, all 3. Maybe it's now Damage Control, like the 5 to 6 of them now. That whole women's Intercontinental title storyline could derive around those 2 groups and that 6 women that can feud around that belt or at least be involved.
Which would be great, especially since we already have 1/3 of the current Damage Control making it to the next round because Dakota Kai won her qualifier, and so Dakota is moving on to the next round with This is just a personal bias too, because I got to represent my Puerto Rican heritage. I love Lyra. I was so sad that Zelina did not win, but that's just me.
She should have went through. Like that's.
They made her queen of the ring. I'm surprised that they didn't. No.
Years ago.
No, like I guess I'm kind of surprised they didn't try and like double down on like, hey, listen, like all the legacy stuff, like we appreciate, like kind of like we talked about it with Chelsea, right? Like giving her flowers, so to speak, like or as Steven said, his Christmas bonus, her Christmas bonus. Like it's maybe it's just an appreciation for what you've done, like moving that story. I don't know.
Yeah. She should have gotten father. 100%. I love Zelina.
Or at least make it to the semifinals. If they're not going to give her the title, at least make it past the first round. Or maybe they could have put her on the other side of the bracket. Because right now, Triple H loves Lyra. I love Lyra dearly as well. But I feel like we could have shifted some of the IC matches around where we could have at least given a spotlight on some of the women who aren't going to be given the opportunity to go for the main belt. So, but what I am hoping is whoever ends up winning this, and Nick, to your comment too, if we end up doing Damage Control and Pure Fusion Collective feuding for this title, I would love to see Zelina, once that's settled for however long they're going to run that program, I would love to see Zelina be like, hey, you know what? I'll feud for, a couple weeks or 2. I am still mad that we never got the unaired Queen of the Ring version of Zelina's promos because she put those on her social medias and those things were beautiful. I wish we got to see that more. So I'm just hoping that Zelina makes it. But other than that, final thoughts with Saturday night's main event. I really enjoyed it. I want to see more for Iyo. Hopefully Kyrie makes it far. And so I enjoyed myself for Saturday night's main event. That triple threat was a lot of fun. Hopefully Finn is now moving away from Damian and Gunther.
I know.
Like, I am ready for the fall of this current version of the Judgment Day and Dominic to take over. That'd be amazing.
I think the whole group is just breaking up. I really think. I think it's going to be like it'd be interesting if it was like Dom, Carlito, Liv, and Raquel, because Liv has been trying to chase Raquel for like the last however long. But he's also been everyone on the roster.
So I have a theory about this, right? So we know from everything, and speculating things like that, at some point Finn and JD are about to be ousted from the Judgment Day, right? So I was thinking, I'm like, how would you go about doing this in a way that makes sense? Well, then I was rewatching, while I was editing last week, our review, I was rewatching SmackDown. And then, of course, Dominic's talking to Nick Aldis. What if the way that Finn and JD get ousted from Judgment Day is that Dominic, Carlito, Raquel, I don't want to say Liv because they'll probably keep Liv for Raw, but I'm just saying. Or you push Finn and JD, they get ousted to SmackDown while the rest of Judgment Day stays on Raw for the trade. Because, we do have that trade window open, and so who knows what's going to happen.
It's really, I could totally see, like, just, for me, like the business mind of me is like, if you're not sold on any creative for Dom right now as a singles star moving forward, because that's the biggest thing. He gets the most heat aside from anybody. Actually, no, in terms of heel, he definitely gets the most heat out of any heel. Like maybe I'd argue he gets more heat than Solo. So like, and that's the only other heel I can think about right off the top of my head that gets a lot like reaction. Everyone else, like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Jey Uso, it's all face driven So, like, to me, if you want to prolong it, if you don't have the storyline yet written to make him a single star, then yeah, put him with Carlito for another 3 to 6 months as a tag team on Raw, SmackDown, it doesn't really matter. And like you could still have those interactions of like the group of like whether it lives with him or not, or like Carlito, Raquel, like all that stuff together, like that kind of like LWO adjacent group, for lack of a better term, and just like let that build up for a while. But there's also a lot of story. Like I think the money storyline, to be honest, as crazy as it sounds, to me is bringing him back together in X amount of months. I don't know whether it's 2, maybe it's WrestleMania, maybe it's after WrestleMania, with with Rhea Ripley, and finding like some like error in his ways. Like he's been this child for so long, and he is starting to grow up to become a man, like, and learn the error of his ways. I could totally see something along those lines. And the pop potentially for them getting back together. They don't have to be together for like a long time. You can eventually like end it in like amicably. But to me, I think it's a way of keeping that storyline going. And it's like, hug it out.
I'm gonna put my feminist hat on real quick. You don't go back to a shitty fucking ex-boyfriend, especially when
he was manipulated.
Rhea Ripley.
But what? All right. Let me present a different scenario.
No,
he was manipulated.
There's nothing.
He was manipulated, and then he was betrayed because he never. What if he was just like a subservient?
No, there's nothing that you run back to your ex-boyfriend for. Honey, he's ex for a reason.
All right,
we're
all right.
together because we have exes.
Nikki's making it. All right, we'll throw the drop in. Hold on, Mikey.
Red flag.
From the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
Fuck your story. No.
Nikki hates my creative.
You don't want back to it.
It's
No,
not creative.
she's gonna give him a fucking riptide, give him the juices, and goodbye. Stop it. I'm sorry, Mike. You're in the middle of us like yelling at you.
Sorry.
But
you know what? It is okay. Honestly, right now, the next couple of weeks are very uncertain because we don't know who's going to end up where with this trade window. I say all this, and then who knows? We might see Judgment Day down over on NXT doing some stuff. Who knows? It's going to be December is going to be interesting in the sense of who gets moved where, who's going to Raw, who's going SmackDown. We know for sure, and at least as somebody who covers NXT, we already know who's going to be going up to main roster post New Year's Evil. At least, like I put my money that Trick and Roxanne are definitely moving up to main roster.
Does she have to put on the red light? Roxanne! Oh, I can't wait. That drop's gonna happen.
I love it. But for sure, there is no way Trick walks out of New Year's Evil defeating Oba Femi. There is no way that he is walking out with that championship against Oba. Now, Roxanne, I'm a little more 50-50 on because I think she can lose it and she'll be fine. But I also can see Cora running interference and causing Julia to not win the championship either. So I think if between those two, I think Roxanne might be in NXT for a little bit longer if they choose to. But those are the two at the top of my list.
Well put. Well, Mikey, we're letting you
Of
go.
course, there's a lot of people that I would love to see come on over to NXT. Of course, Go
So
for
we're
it.
having some
All I gotta say is
mission.
last thing for me is that my girl Shotzi is back. Shotzi is back, so I am happy.
Oh, yes, Queen. I love her. I think her and Gigi together is good.
Her, Gigi, and Tatum gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Exciting. Well, Mikey, pleasure as always. Let everyone know. I put it in the little drop, but I don't know if they dance along to the music like we do. But let everyone know where they can find you.
Of course. Well, if you like this version of shenanigans for myself, you could see the other side of the shenanigans too, all over all the social medias at BC WrestlePod. And also in about an hour, you can see me and a couple of the other hosts as we duke it out, as we talk about the best and the worst of 2024 in our end of the year podcast. I am so excited. This is going to be a crazy show. It's fun. We got all our hosts involved. And of course, some friends of the channel may or may not have also made some picks too.
Some people who may or may not be on the show right now may have made it.
I have feelings about this.
I know. Well, we agreed on most of our picks.
Yeah.
I submitted them before. I realized that she was like,
I was like, oh, it'd be so cute that we did a thing from like Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. He's like, I sent that in already. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess my opinions don't matter.
to be fair, half like more than half.
More than half we like agreed. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
And she's like, who'd you put? She's like, I guess it's all right.
Oh my goodness. So that's where you can find us. Thanks for having me, you guys. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Mikey, before you go, you know what she said to me? In Dolph Ziggler terms, she said it like,
This should have been me. It should have been me. It should have been me.
I knew I'm gonna get the drops in.
Oh God! Give this man a Canva. Oh God!
I
I
love
know,
this.
this is the worst thing I've ever done. Mikey,
We appreciate it. We love you.
pleasure. As always, catch him on his year in review in the next hour. Very fun. Looking forward to it. Mikey, you, sir, are cut off. It's always fun.
I know.
It's always fun when our
love
friends
Mikey
show up.
Immensely. Please go check out his shit. He's so smart, so great, such a great guy. Please go watch him.
It's
all
fun. The
his-
Biconics Wrestling
all his
Podcast.
friends.
Our friends of the show. See them shortly. Hopefully,
Bring
Mikey
your
can show
friends
back up for our
and
year-end
our
review.
friends, and maybe we can be friends.
Well, we are back here. We're gonna all be friends. We're gonna get new friends. We're all back here next Friday. So get ready.
Mhm.
I just feel so blessed from all our friends.
Hashtag blessed.
All that said, though, incredible team effort, and I feel so lucky and blessed to have this opportunity and be here and be part of this. Everyone here, give yourselves a round of applause. This is unbelievable. Thank you, guys.
Great job. Great job.
So good.
Phenomenal job.
Great job.
Well, we have to have fun. So we will be back next Friday, the 20th, right? 20th? That sounds right.
It's the 20th, yes.
All right, just doing math.
No, because all the family's coming on the 21st, so it's the 20th.
You got it. So
Yeah,
it's good. And here's what's so fun about this.
so fun.
For us.
Watch out.
This is our holiday. For me, I don't know, maybe not bah humbug over here, but it's our holiday special. It's going to be the Nick Club holiday special. So get ready. Holiday themed. Who's on the naughty list? Who's on the nice list? We're going to get it all right. We want to hear from all you. There's a lot to Christmas that goes into Christmas.
There's so much to Christmas.
I know. And I think you all need to appreciate Christmas as much as Roddy Piper appreciates Christmas.
Santa Claus. In the morning, you kids, when you got up and you saw them gifts down there, it was given to you by someone that loves you a whole lot, that spend a whole lot of time outside and buying gifts and getting them in reindeers and little else, whatever you want to think, somebody that loved you a whole lot put them gifts under that tree, not some idiot.
Not some idiot. Someone who loved you put gifts under the tree. Get ready for more of that for next week. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, this has been a thing that happened.
It's been exciting. Actually, I had a blast. As always, I have a blast. But let's take us out. He's not too worked up from last night. So if he's got a little time, let's take us out the only way we know how to. Almost closing time. Time to close down the bar.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Hey, we'll do that tonight. So, until next time, appreciate you all. Hit the like and subscribe before you go. You do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. Goodbye.